Alcaraz beats Djokovic to win Australian Open. Completes career slam. Alcaraz becomes the youngest man in tennis to complete a career Grand Slam and wins 7 slams with a 2-6, 6-2, 6-3, 7-5 triumph. Carlos Alcaraz has rewritten tennis history by becoming the youngest man to complete the career Grand Slam with his victory over the great Novak Djokovic in the final of the Australian Open 2026 in Melbourne. Alcaraz, 22, overcame a first-set loss to complete a 2-6, 6-2, 6-3, 7-5 triumph over the 24-time Grand Slam champion at the Rod Laver Arena on Sunday. In the process, he denied the 38-year-old a chance to become the only player with 25 slam titles, while the world number one later admitted his legs were shaking as he served for the title. He seemed to have the upper hand as the match wore on and finished after 3 hours and 2 minutes. The top seed now has an Australian Open trophy to add to his 2 French Open, Wimbledon, and US Open titles each, also making him the youngest to garner 7 slams. Djokovic, from Serbia and a 10-time champion in Australia, was the quicker of the 2-out blocks and broke his younger rival twice to swiftly claim the opening set. But Alcaraz of Spain didn't waste time in pulling back and claiming the second set with the same scoreline in a display of speed, power, and finesse. In breaking the career slam record, Alcaraz surpassed his idol and compatriot Rafael Nadal, who watched from the stands and who was 2 years older when he did the same. It was a first defeat for Djokovic in a Melbourne final after he won all 10 previously, leaving him still searching for a landmark 25th major to better Australia's Margaret Court, who was also watching on. Gladiatorial contest. Both men battled through 5 long sets in their semifinals, Alcaraz against Alexander Zverev and Djokovic against Jannik Sinner. And recovery was always going to be key after their physical struggles. But they showed few signs of fatigue in another gladiatorial contest. They both opened with comfortable holds before a double fault, and netted forehand presented the first break point chance for Djokovic at 2-1. Alcaraz saved it, but the aggressive 4 seed kept pressing and converted on his third, then consolidated for a 4-1 lead. Djokovic was reading Alcaraz's serve well, and once he got in the rallies, he was authoritative, with a sensational forehand winner earning him 2 set points. He claimed the set in a statement 33 minutes after a 9th unforced error from the top seed, having dominated the big moments. It was vintage Djokovic, but Alcaraz came storming back, upping the tempo to break for 2-1 in the second set, pumping his fist when he saved a break point and held in the next game. Djokovic put drops to his eyes and began rubbing them, unable to tame a now rampant Alcaraz, who broke again for 5-2. There were some sensational rallies that had the crowd on their feet in set 3, which one was served until Djokovic slapped a forehand wide under pressure to slip 2-3 behind. He gamely saved 4 set points at 3-5, but, with his energy level dropping, was unable to save a 5th as the Spaniard took control. On the back foot, Djokovic then saved 6 break points in an 11-minute opening service game in set 4 to stay alive and kept fighting hard. But Alcaraz ground him down and pounced as Djokovic served to stay in a match to seal a maiden Australian championship. It ensured he remained world number 1 and Sinner 2, with Djokovic moving up a place to 3 ahead of Zverev. Australian Open win means a world to Alcaraz. Despite his heartbreaking loss, Djokovic was gracious in defeat as he walked around the net to congratulate Alcaraz on his side of court. Plenty of pats on the back and smiles were exchanged in a passing of the baton moment between the 2 tennis icons. Afterwards, Alcaraz told the host broadcasters that his legs were shaking as he served for the championship. "I was telling myself, at least put the serve in, and then let's see what happens," the champion said with a laugh. The man from Murcia, southeastern Spain, said the elusive win in Australia was something he'd been working hard for. "It means the world to me and shows that all the hard work paid off," he said. Alcaraz's 7th slam put him alongside John McEnroe and Mats Wilander and one behind Andre Agassi, Jimmy Connors, and Ivan Lendl. However, the young champion was quick to dismiss talk of overtaking his heroes Nadal and Djokovic and said 22 or 24 titles were too far away at the moment. "I know how difficult it is to win a Grand Slam," he said. "I know what it takes. So I just want to enjoy each one, because I don't know if it's going to be my last one. I want to keep going and working hard to feel this emotion again. Meanwhile, Djokovic did not make any explicit statements on his career, but did admit he's not sure whether he will return to Melbourne for next year's Australian Open. I tried to give it back with good tennis over the years. This is my 22nd year coming to Australia, he said at the presentation ceremony. The Serb said he didn't think he'd be standing on a Grand Slam final podium again. God knows what happens tomorrow, let alone in 6 or 12 months, the 2023 champion said. It has been a great ride, and I love you guys.